Okay, so new YouTube recording. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch chat? Playing through a standard league. We've got the content creator showdown tomorrow. So I will be competing against, I think, like 63 other standard content creators in a 5K on Magic Online. Really excited for that. But I'm going to be playing Dimir mid-range, which is the list that you see before you here. Because why not? Like, I have very little experience in standard outside of several leagues jamming this deck, and it looked fun. So signed up for it. Not really sure what everybody's going to be playing, but I know it's open deck list tomorrow, so I'm hoping that that will give mid-range a little bit of the edge it needs to compete. But anyway, we're just going to run through a league here real quick, get some last-minute practice. Maybe learn some stuff that we didn't know before. Really, it's just about like familiarizing yourself with some of the available deck lists. Figuring out what you need to be concerned about, what you can let go. Now, even though the event is run and sponsored by Magic Online, I probably would consider playing Arena for practice just to get faster games. Except for the Arena economy makes it so difficult to get wild cards. It's $10. $10 for 4 rare wild cards. So when you're going to build a deck and you need like 30 rare wild cards, like I'm not paying, what, $80 for the rare wild cards? Nah, fam. Okay, so we've got our mana. We've got Malcolm. We got a Preacher. We got a Spell Stutter. Pretty easy keep. Opponent giving us the GLHF. So I don't know what the Tron is of this format, but they're playing it. Lizards. Lizardos. Lizarditos. Alright, Hired Claw. Whenever you attack with one or more lizards, Hired Claw deals 1 damage to target opponent. Put a 1/1 counter on Hired Claw. Activate only if an opponent lost life this turn and only once each turn. This is good because I have not actually played against the Lizards deck yet. So this is good practice. Hopefully Preacher does a pretty good job in this matchup. We'll see what they decide to do. Probably Spell Stutter. I know that they have a 2-mana lizard that like makes mana if an opponent lost life or something. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Spell Stutter this so I can untap and slam a Preacher here. And kind of hope that that helps me to stabilize. So, Preacher, go. Hopefully it's a big enough butt to where they have a tough time dealing with it. Alright, what do? Creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries in addition to their other types. I feel like that doesn't matter. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library, where X is the number of outlaws you control. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. Okay, so you're a mercenary. You're a lizard rogue. Creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries. And this counts outlaws. So mercenaries are outlaws. So much to keep track of. Am I willing to trade the Preacher with the Laughing Jasper Flint? I think I am. And since I get both effects of the Preacher, I'm pretty happy to make the attack. Let's go Deep Cavern Bat. They have a bat of their own. Thought Stalker, Warlock. Target opponent, if they lost life this turn. Blah, blah, blah. Gev. We'll just take the Gev so they can't double spell. Now, am I Dream Thief? No. I think I'm holding up Malcolm this turn. I can hopefully, like, start finding some interaction. So they can play a Preacher. That's like their whole turn. Cast spells. Can't play lands, right? Yeah. Are gonna play my Preacher. I'll Malcolm. All right, let's find some interaction. Slim Creed's not bad. I do have the higher life or the lower life total. So I'm making a life linker instead of drawing a card. Oh, the Dream Thief also has this really cool ability where you can pay 2 and a black and exile it from your graveyard and draw a card and lose a life. So if I wanted to do that, is an ability I would have access to. I think I'm going to chill back with the Preacher. Yeah. It's a pretty good one to have access to, right? Get a cut down and a spell stutter. This card's pretty good. Oh, wait, they get 3. So they have cut down, spell stutter, and go for the throat. Ugh. They can spell stutter this if they want. They don't get to progress their board, but... Yep. I will not pay. Fortunately, really good turn for them. No attack. All right, so let's play Shieldred. Attack with the crew, because Malcolm's going to draw and discard, trigger Shieldred. Don't think any of these have reach. So I probably should have checked that first. All right. Please don't hit a removal spell for Shieldred. That is exactly what I told you not to do. Not to do that. 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they attack 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is close. I really need to like draw one of my own removal spells and not have them draw all of my removal spells. Please, opponent. I guess they can play my Fairy Dream Thief. Like, they have a flying blocker if they want it. We are contemplating. We're still contemplating. So, sideboard. We've got an extra cut down. We've got Anoint with Afflictions. We've got Harvester of Misery. Aclazotz. Lips. Got a bunch of stuff post board. No blocks. 6, 7. Go to 9. The Burning Tree Lizard. Yep. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 9 potentially gaining 2. They could have played that. This thing specifies any color mana. So I think that I have to Dream Thief myself. I think that's going to be enough against the current board. Okay. Cut down. Anoints. Eclipse. Harvester Aclazotz. Take out Tidebinder. Phantom Interference. That. Submit. Okay. Get all of our removal spells in. Aclazats with a little life gain to go along with our Shieldrids. Probably cut Fairy Mastermind. That's probably a good idea. Cut Mastermind back for Phantom Interference because the interference can count. Yeah. Can counter some of the annoying lizards. Mastermind is not countering much. What I should be doing if I was a good Magic the Gathering tester would be going to look at lists as soon as I play them to see what kind of stuff they have that would affect my sideboarding. Like Duress, I don't really care about. Urbrask's Forge. Forge is one I need to care about. So if they're bringing that card in, then I need to bring in negates. Let's go Dark Slick Shores. So we can hold up Cut Down. Sure. Would you like a Cut Down or a Phantom Interference? Because you are not taking my Harvester of Misery, no matter how much you beg. What you got? Deep Cavern Bat. Doesn't really matter. Malcolm's a really good top deck here. Do love me some Malcolm. Little disappointed that the shark that this makes like doesn't have flying or unblockable or something. Probably need another mana to activate it if it did. Like Celestial Colonnade levels of mana, but it's like a 4/4 that mills 4. Doesn't feel like it does a lot. Got a Hired Claw. Now, I don't think Orcish Bowmaster is in this format. I've been wrong before. Not. Are we sure? Completely positive on that. It's not standard legal. That's what if you had asked me like 4 days ago if Liliana the Veil was standard legal. I would have told you no. Of course not. That was a modern staple back in like 2017. Why on earth would it be in a standard set? And I would have been wrong. All right. It was reprinted in standard, but Orc is 100% not, I promise. Famous last words. Somebody promising something isn't legal. And then it is. I'll believe you. All right, I need a cut down. I can like fire up this reef and have cut down. Gatherer speaks. All right, the evidence is sufficient. I do appreciate the design on like all the lizards, how they basically set themselves up. Like Gev, you cast a lizard, it pings your opponent, and then you get a 1/1 counter on your lizard if they lost, when it enters, if they, like an opponent lost life. There's just like a 1-card combo with your lizards and like Hired Claw pinging when it attacks and then doing a counter when it attacks. I think they did a good job on that. All right, now if they attack, I'm firing up the Restless Reef regardless. If my opponent has got a go for the throat, sucks, but that's one less go for the throat for a potential Shieldred top deck or like an Aclazotz or something. Here's a 4/4. What if this had hexproof? I could deal with hexproof, but just like Death Touch. Death Touch mill 4 cards. Just feels so underwhelming. Pretty good turn for our opponent. What did I say about a Shieldred top deck? What did I say? There's a Shieldred. Go. Now, if you can not have a removal spell for this turn, that would be absolutely stellar. I will counter that unless you pay 2 more. Do you think my last card is worth it? So they must have something live, because if you didn't, then you take this Like, if your last card's dead, then you just pay the 2. You just take the risk, pay the 2. But if your last card is something you can actually cast, then you have to think about if it's worth it to get this last card out of hand. If it's like a go for the throat, you just snap, don't pay for it. You just let it go, kill the shield druid attack. I kind of wonder what it is. Oh, this has more text. Discard a card, draw a card. Well, I guess that's pretty bad in the shield druid. Also, I feel like Lizards is the kind of deck that a bunch of people will play tomorrow. Like a fun deck. It's got a lot of gotcha elements to it. It's the kind of deck that's like really flashy on Arena. Can we get a go for the throat? One of your finest go for the throats, please. Yeah. Well, I can put that in the yard and draw if I want to. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So next turn, if I play a land, I can draw and hold up Risen Reef. That sounds a bit better. Beginning of your second main phase. Opponent lost life this turn. Exile the top 2 cards. Why does everything get to see more cards out of them? Ugh. All right. Can we get a Glistening Deluge? Any Glistening Deluge enjoyers in chat? Nope. Oh boy. So, like, need them to stop drawing anything at all. I've got to find stuff. Acklazotz would be pretty ballin'. But like every lizard they draw, every lizard triggers this Fireglass Mentor. Every land triggers the Lasher that triggers the Mentor. That's a brutal cycle. It is a cool deck. I feel like it would be a little bit more interesting if we didn't have this flood out. Alright, well, if they got Go for the Throat on their upkeep, then game is in fact over. Oh, did they hit my Go for the Throat again? They hit Cut Down, Anoint, Go for the Throat, and Eclipse. Oof. Okay. So don't let the deck snowball. Focus removal on the lizards that say draw. So Laughing Jasper Flint and Fireglass Mentor. Probably where my removal needs to target. Okay. Got turn 2 Fairy Mastermind or Deep Cavern Bat. Got Spell Stutter. Bloom Creed to maybe protect our Deep Cavern Bat. Pretty sweet hand. Tokens, you say? Or Convoke? Kind of want to just bat. So I think I will stop like an explosive turn here. Like that. Well, tried to stop an explosive turn. Not work out particularly well. War Leader's Call. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a creature you control enters, deals 1 damage to each opponent. Go ahead and take out the Warden. Say go. Probably just letting a War Leader's Call resolve. Interference is a decent pickup. That I don't believe I want to resolve. So let us run some interference on it. Here's a Mastermind. Enters, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste. Sure. They're +1/+0 and hasting on the ground. Which sounds an awful lot like not +1/+0 and hasting in the air, which is what I really care about. Okay, so this is 3, 7, put me down to 12. I flash in Mastermind and Escort. Hit him with a bunch of flyers. Oop. See what they do. Spell stuttering or spell stutter is countering anything. Because if they have a 1-drop, they can't have a 1-drop and a land. Am I letting this go and countering the knight? I think I am. To ping me. Yeah, and if they do something else like don't cast the knight, then on their end step, I can activate the Mastermind. They draw, I draw 3. And hopefully I can figure out some way to win from there. All right, Clips is coming in. Disdainful Stroke, unfortunately, I think is coming in. Bringing the other cut down. Harvester. Maybe Anoint. Do you have a deck list? Jeskai aggro. The gate's not bad. Anoint does exile the Evangelist, if that matters in the matchup. Tidebinder can hit ETB ability off of Knight. Liliana's horrible. Trim a Shieldred. Escort, it's just a flyer. I don't think they actually target any of my stuff. Something like that. I might bring in more on the play. We'll keep this since we got this Dream Thief on 1 to help filter. And opponents mulliganing. Unfortunately, I do think that they're like a good 4 or 5 card hand from them, I think does run us over pretty well. Basically any hand with like turn 3 Knight Errant. Keep that for Shieldred. All right, unfortunately, them cracking the clue on my instep does not help out with my Fairy Mastermind. Wish it did, but alas, we're not that fortunate. Three to the face. Now they're definitely going to crack the clue in response to this. No. Just going to wait till my turn. I mean, how many Yuta Takahashis does it take to get across the finish line? Might just have a War Leader's Helix. That thing, War Leader's Call. Okay, so flash in a Mastermind. Raid with something. Take 8. Go to 8. Next turn, play out Shieldred. And I'm absolutely willing and able to just start throwing bodies under these tokens. Are attacking. So block here. Block there. Am I double blocking one of these? Take 6, go to 1. Shieldred will draw me. Yeah. That's a pretty good draw. So play out a Preacher. Sego. Ooh, that might be game over. I get to draw, gain the life. They lose. Yeah. Okay, so Deep Cavern Bat. They didn't play a land, so I'm assuming their last card is live. Yep. Only has flying if they have 3 or more counters, so we can attack. I can attack with everything, right? And they have to block. Yeah. If they don't, they die to Shieldred on their draw step. Nice. 1-1. Yeah, they're forced into blocking either the Shieldred or the Preacher, both of which have Death Touch. So they're killing the Warden. I've got Cut Down to kill something else on board. And if they don't block, they go to 2, and they're dead to Shieldred trigger on their draw step. All right. Hand is very slow. Hope we're not up against an aggressive creature deck. We're not. I really feel like there's a decent chance that this deck wants, like, more Undercity Sewers and less Restless Reef. I have zero idea what I'm up against. I feel like that's probably pretty good regardless. All right. Case of the Filched Falcon. Case of the Filched Falcon. See if we can find decks with this card. Power and toughness equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. This is just like a blue-white token deck. Maybe. Power and toughness equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. Okay. Let's attack with the Dream Thief. Play out our Preacher. Regal Bunnycorn. Where are you seeing play? In Azorius Convoke. But not in this list that I'm looking at. I flying? Oh, this gave it flying. Okay. Yeah. That's a good draw. So Steel Seraph. A little bigger than I can deal with at the moment. Does this always prototype as a 3/3? Steel Seraph. Yeah. And it has flying. I could Tidebinder the Seraph trigger. I don't hate Tidebindering just to be mana efficient. What does this do when you solve it? Sacrifice this case before one counters on target non-creature artifact becomes a 0/0 bird. Sure. But Tidebinder the Seraph trigger and this bunny corn thing is just like on the ground doing whatever, then I can make tokens every turn and block it. So that's not like the worst deal. And the Seraph loses flying. No. My only weakness. More bunny corns. I would love to draw a card and lose a life and make a life linker and everything else that comes with the territory. Opponent would not like to trade with my Preacher. I really just like don't know. Okay, so it is Convoke. I assume it is Convoke. Yeah, I'll take 3. Let's flash in Mastermind. Pretty good there. Tap 3 untapped artifacts and or creatures. So let's go for that first to see what they tap down. Nothing. Then we'll kill this. Hiya. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Get lost. I do get some treasure tokens. Or map tokens. Some sort of token that does something somewhere for someone. And we'll pass the turn, hold up Spell Stutter. I can counter that because they did not pay 3 mana for it, or they cannot pay 3 mana for it with Fairy Mastermind. Look at Spell Stutter being better than the alternatives. I think that is a situation right there where Spell Stutter countered something that none of the other options could counter. If I'm not mistaken. All right, let's cut down you. Make sure before I do anything. Probably doesn't matter if I'm only attacking with the Preacher. No, it matters. It's like one less draw. Dogfish, Mike would be happy to know I just shifting woodlands on a questing beast to smash through a ring trigger with a few Nethergoyf bodyguards. Okay, that's pretty great, actually. I applaud that that plan. Let's go map token on the Mastermind. Lay out Shieldred. Say go. They should have responded with their clue token. And I think we win this one. I guess we don't win this one. We do win this one. Okay. On to game 2. It's Azorius artifact, Convoke, something. Does our opponent have a deck list? So just like can't find what they've got going on. MTGO. Is this fishy physics? Not have anything with this list. So Anoint hits the bunny corn thing. Aclazotz could come in. Negate's probably fine. I think I want bats on the draw. Is this deck going to slap with the new Kaito? This one, probably not exactly how it is, but you could probably adjust it to be really good with that Kaito. I don't think it would take much. But like, there's a really good amount of like cheap flyers in standard right now. So you could very easily ninjutsu in a Kaito. Alright, we'll bluff like we have a cut down. Oh no, you got in under my cut down. Alright. Opponent is down to 2 cards. We have an Anoint with Affliction. So if we can start picking off some dorks. Yeah, I'll just take this, hold up Spell Stutter. If they don't do anything, then I'll go for an Anoint. Take out the flyer. Ooh. Ooh. No. Don't do. Okay. Whew. Whew. Get out of here. Okay, Lily. You've ruled modern for years. Now I need you to rule standard for like this match. Let's discard a negate. Either negate or Tidebinder. Yeah, we'll ditch negate. Nice. It's funny. Enchanted Artifact is a golem creature with base power and toughness 5/4 in addition to its other types. When Zoetic Glyph is put in a graveyard from the battlefield, discover 3. Well, sorry, Liliana, you're probably going to die, but I cannot let that resolve. Yep. But we do have a Shield Druid. Gotta be like somewhat decent, right? I can fire up Anchorage. Make all the map tokens. Hiya. Pass the turn. Am I Tidebindering an Anchorage activation. Five, 4. Okay. And Tidebinder that. Technically. Make it a vanilla 4/4 at least, or 5/4. Still an artifact, though. Yeah, take a preacher. Pass. Let Shieldred keep doing Shieldred things. Let's cut down the Anchorage. No map for you. The Steel Seraph does not have flying, so I can get in there with the Dream Thief. Another Seraph. Yeah, okay. So I would go down to 16. They'd go up to 14. I could block and go for the throat with my own threat. That doesn't seem like where I want to be. If I go for the throat, the Novice, and I untap, fire up the Restless Reef, attack Shieldred, Preacher, Reef. What if I attack with everything? That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they have to block something. If they block anything but the Shieldred. That's so close. I probably do have to trade off the Shieldred for the Seraph, though. I guess not if they're not blocking, right? 5/4. So they get a Seraph trigger. Give this what? Lifelink. Let's go ahead and blow up the anchorage. Did not need to lose life off that. Block the Dream Thief on the token. This doesn't have trample, right? Base power and toughness 5/4. Yeah. Block there. Go for the throat with my Dream Thief. And now it should be fire up Dark Slick Shores or fire up Restless Reef attack. And that should be lethal. Oh yeah. Milieu. Yay. 2-1. Love to see it. Shieldred good. Shieldred real good. Preacher good. Unicorn good, I think. GG&D, that was a fun one. I'm always glad when you see like interesting uses of normalized cards. So like Tidebinder shutting off a Seraph combat trigger to make the Seraph just like a big vanilla beater is really cool. It's something that like you don't think about all the time. Like, hey, I can't really beat a 5/4 flying Vigilance Lifelinker, but I can beat a 5/4 just on the ground Dirtle. Unfortunately, if I run into that deck tomorrow, I do not have any removal for the Seraph, like, at all. Go for the throat, doesn't hit it. Cut down, doesn't hit it. I guess Liliana. But that's pretty unreliable if they go wide at all. What do we got for round number 4? I do want to see some prowess. I think I'm like really rough into the prowess deck, but I think it's so popular that I'm pretty likely to see it tomorrow. So I would like to run into it, get a little extra practice against it. Come on, Magic Online. Find us an opponent. Please find us an opponent. The standard queues on Magic Online like are exponentially less populated than the standard queues on Arena. You're talking about like there's 245 players active in the league right now. We can probably assume there's a non-zero number of those that are like 2 matches in and gone to do something else, whether waiting until tomorrow to play, going to eat, going to whatever. So if that number is large enough, or the number of people currently in a match is large enough, then you start really notching into the number of people that are actually available to play a match. All right. 4.5 minutes into the queue. Gonna have to learn to cut down the YouTube videos. Wonder what would happen if we like canceled and requeued. Think we'd find an opponent immediately. But it also has to take into account like you're looking for somebody with a similar record. So 245 people in the league, minus people who aren't playing at the moment, minus people who aren't looking at the moment, minus people who don't have a similar enough record. Ugh. Surprised anybody ever gets a matchup. Nope. Found somebody. We found somebody in Magic Online crashes. Oh boy. Okay. Cut down, preacher, spell stutter, keep. Flowerfoot Swordmaster. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, mice you control get +1/+0. So, Boros, some sort of mice. Now, there is conveniently a Boros mice list with this Swordmaster. So I'm going to assume that that's what we are up against. And I think I'm going to pass. I want one of these lands coming in or one of my tapped lands down early so I can get Preacher down on turn 3. Now I can curve out Preacher into Shieldred, hopefully. If I'm not dead. That's some big mice. Tell my kids this was the children's song, Three Blind Mice. All right, so it looks like they've got Get Lost. They've got Shock. They've got stuff like Monstrous Rage. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. Also gets +1/+0 if you control a mouse. Draw a card. Okay, so we're going to be mana efficient here. Play the Shieldred. So that next turn we can have like Preacher plus Escort or Preacher plus Spell Stutter. See, now when I said I wanted to play against Prowess, I didn't necessarily mean mice. I'm here for it. I just didn't expect it. I didn't know mice was a list. Zero Wiz, what's up? Good evening. Just came back from the One Piece pre-release. It's nice to see you're still alive. Well, I'm glad to be alive. How was One Piece? I'm in the middle of this mod or this standard league and finding out so many cards and decks that I didn't know existed. Like, I've never played against mice before. So this is cool. We played against a blue-white artifact deck with, like, the Steel Seraph and some Ensoul artifact card I'd never seen before. One Piece was nice. Got some good pulls. Okay, so I love the One Piece anime. I've like watched the anime all the way through. I've read the manga all the way through. Watched the live action. What are some of like the good One Piece card game characters? Like, you can assume there's a good Luffy or whatnot, but like, what are some of the off the beaten path ones? I don't know anything about the card game, so. Monstrous Rage, you got it. Like, I am just out here trying to trade off anything that I can. Double Monstrous Rage is rough. Meta is black, yellow Luffy, black Lucci, yellow Enel, and green Bonnie. Hearing like Bonnie and Enel being good is pretty sweet. Not surprised there's a Lucci deck. Skrelv. Okay, so we actively need our opponent to have nothing. Like, basically any spell kills us. But if they have absolutely factual nothing, and we have a chance. Raging Battle Mouse. So we attack. Play another Preacher. Go. I'm pretty sure we are just dead on board. I mean, I guess. Yeah, we are just dead on board, right? They protection this to pro black. Attack with everything. Then I block here. Block the battle mouse. Gain 1, lose 1 here. Stay at 1. Eat the battle mouse. Take 1 off the sword master. With this new set, we'll probably see blue-red Marco and purple-yellow pudding pop up. Blue-red Marco. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's absolutely sick. I guess this also works to kill us. Blue-red Marco. Can't be blocked by black creatures. So block there, die. Yep. Okay. We've got Anoints. We've got another Cut Down. Harvester. Eclipses and Aclazats. We can drop Tidebinder. Crimson Bats. Do I want Liliana? Liliana doesn't sound particularly good. Like, all these go wide decks in Standard. Masterminds, whatever. Cut some. Yeah. Take out some of our cheap threats since we're bringing in sweepers. You should see the alternative art card. They made him look super hot. All right, let's. One Piece TCG Marco. Oh my God, is this what you're talking about? Please tell me that. That's it. That's hilarious. All right. Activate main once per turn. Draw 1 card. Place 1 card from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck. Then give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh levels of power scaling. 2,000 power lost. All right. We'll start on a Restless Reef. They got a lot of 1-drops. So I feel like there's a pretty good chance that they have one. Not that I can stop it, but like probably not standing in front of it. Oh, they don't. Okay. Well, this gets exponentially better for me now. One less cast for each creature that attacked this turn. 5 damage to any target. Manifold Mouse, beginning of your combat on your turn. Target mouse you control against your choice of double strike or trample. Bust caller whenever one or more other rabbits for the mouse. Enter scry 1. Pumps your other mice. Second spell. Each turn costs 1 less to cast. Let's take a battle mouse. Our opponent plays a mouse. We play a Liliana. Let me make sure that this thing doesn't have double strike or trample. So it does not gain haste. Like for you to sacrifice a creature, whichever one you would like. A valid choice. Another one. Another one. I mean, like, yeah. So we'll tick up, discard our Underground River. Dr. Screaming Goat, thank you so much for the follow. Hope you're having an awesome Friday wherever you're at in the world. Appreciate you coming around and hanging out. So Witch Stalker Frenzy is gone. This mouse is gone. This Restless Reef is down. Go. And we will be, yeah, I was going to say, we will be very proactively minusing this Lily. How does the deck feel? Well, we're currently 2-1. We lost to Lizards round 1. Well, I don't even want to say we lost to Lizards. We lost to that 3-mana... This dude. We lost to Laughing Jasper Flint. Just like game 1 and game 2 hitting all of my removal spells. So just like taking out my Shieldrids and my Preachers and whatnot. And I just couldn't find a removal spell to fight back against it. You were right. He's technically a lizard. Can't argue that. The point is fair. But then we beat like a blue-white artifact Steel Seraph deck. And we beat Jeskai, the Jeskai Convoke deck. So we've played some good stuff. Skrelv. Skrelv me like one of your French girls. It's also a rogue, so I feel... Okay, so funny story. I was oh, wait, I'm on the wrong account. Dang it. I was looking around and found, like, on my normal Moto account, looking around and just started, like, checking out random rogues cards. I ended up buying, like, 250 rogues cards, some insane amount of stuff, and paid like 7 ticks for just rogue stuff, ninjas, fairies. all the blue-black stuff that had like ETB abilities and cool stuff like that, because I'm about to just go like buck wild when the new set drops, and get to run all of this stuff with Kaito, and I'm super excited. Like, I'm just going to be jamming Kaito like crazy. If you haven't seen the new Kaito, let me bring that card up real quick. Kaito. Guess I could have found it easier on Mythic Spoiler. Kaito. Yeah, Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. So, 2 blue and a black, 4 loyalty, ninjutsu for 1 in blue and a black. So a ninjutsu planeswalker. During your turn, as long as it has loyalty on it, it has hexproof. It's a hexproof ninja. And then your surveil, so you're 0, you can surveil 2, then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn. So you can ninjutsu him in and then start drawing cards. Hexproof creature on your turn. Like, you can emblem your ninjas and whatnot. But just the ninjutsu part on it is so sick. And then you can use them to, like, tap stuff down. I don't know why my opponent conceded, but we'll take it. Artemis, are you in the chat? Are you... Is that why we're conceding? I don't think they are. But, yeah, we could have untapped Eclipse to take out these and then, like, Shieldred eventually or something. Or, I don't know. I don't really know why they conceded. It was a little early. But yeah, I hope the Kaido's good, too. The card looks super sweet. All these funky ways we have now of, like, cheating in planeswalkers. Like, oh, you can cheat in a Grist off an Unearth or a Court of Calling. You can ninjutsu in a Kaito. Get all these flip walkers. I'm for that. I think that's, like, a super cool design. I don't think static abilities are the best idea, but when they're balanced, I think they're really cool. Like Teferi, not a balanced static ability. Get it out of here. Kaito being a 3/4 with hexproof on my turn. Kind of cool. If it was like a 3/4 hexproof always, that would be redunculous. Let's pull that. Oh, nope. Found an opponent. I would love to play first. Deep Cavern Bat into Liliana. Seems good. Also, for anybody that has been sticking around and watching the standard stream, what do we think about this? Like, this gameplay has been pretty decent, right? I'm not going crazy here. It's been pretty back and forth, pretty interactive. Don't think anything has felt like a blowout. Alright, Sellsword. Target creature control deals damage equal to its power to any other target, then sacrifice it. Enters with a 1/1 counter for each creature that entered. Mirren Bane Splitter. Attached to target creature control. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. So I probably just need to take the show off, right? Yeah. Standard's great right now. It's been really fun. Like, I haven't played Standard in any serious amount since original Eldraine. Like, the decks that were just curving the Goose into Oko, those killed Standard for me. I did not want to touch the format with those around. But since I've been like practicing for this or messing around with decks for this, the gameplay has been like a lot better than I thought it would be. And that's really good to see for the format. And get that out of here. Dude. Okay, these Lilianas, these were like in the sideboard for a bunch of lists, but I did not see lists with Liliana in the main deck, and they have been all stars today. Super glad that I put those in the main. So get the extra cheap removal in. Got a Shieldred. I always wonder in these matchups if I want to bring in like an Aclazotz just to have a little bit of life gain. Like I've got Preacher and Shieldred, but just a creature I can play out with lifelink is a little bit different than just like a Shieldred or whatever. And I know this deck we're playing against did like really well in a recent challenge. See if I can find it. I don't know if it won a challenge or just did well. But I saw somebody posting about running into like 6 mirror matches with it. There's also a Dimir mid-range that won a challenge with like Mockingbird and stuff. Alright. Whenever a Hearthfire hero becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, put a 1/1 counter on it. So I kind of want to just go ahead and kill that. But it uses like Heartfire hero type cards with Callous Sellsword and like Slick Shot Show Off to just put a really big threat into play. Hit you for a ton and then like sack it off. What do I think about Ghost Vacuum? Ghost Vacuum's the like tap gain. No. Is it the... No, I don't know what card I'm thinking of. Ghost Vacuum. Exile target card from a graveyard. Sacrifice Ghost Vacuum. Put each creature card exile with Ghost Vacuum onto the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it. Each of them is a 1/1 spirit. It's cool. Like the fact that you can use it as hate for decks like Reanimator and then get a lot of value for it later is pretty interesting. 6 in sack, it's a pretty big cost. And the fact that they come back as 1/1s is pretty rough. But at the same time, if they come back at 1/1s or come back as 1/1s, but you're getting back just like, what's it called? Atraxas or like Archons or something, then you don't really care if they're coming back as 1/1s, right? So let's go ahead and kill this off. Need to find some lands. It is a cool card, though. Like, the fact that it exiles target card when it taps, that's pretty huge. Land. I wonder if it's playable in Pioneer instead of Hearse. The one cost is very nice. How aggressive is Pioneer? Because if Pioneer's like not overly aggressive, I'd probably rather stick to the Hearse. But if Pioneer's not overly aggressive, then... Or if Pioneer is overly aggressive, then I could see the 1 mana being a pretty big deal. Land? I think I have to just take this. Untapped land. So play another bat. Why didn't they cast that? +2/+0. I guess didn't matter that much. And we are double blocking this Cell Sword. Given the opportunity. Or just dying. 3rd Cell Sword. Yeah. Needed the land. I don't really want to rest. Yeah. I think I'm fine with my plan here. Right now it's a lot of red-black aggro. Does the red-black aggro care about the graveyard? You can pretty well assume that I have not done a lot of looking into what's popular in Pioneer at the moment. Heartfire hero. Down, down, down. Do I want to bat or do I want to go for the throat? I'm going to bat. Sellsword. Scamp. Common damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, proliferate, dies, deals damage, blah, blah, blah. Earth Challenger, Heartfire Hero, Felonious Rage, +2/+0 haste, and die. So Rage is the only card they have that triggers the hero right now. So if I take the Felonious Rage, I might be able to stop them from attacking right here. Phoenix and green-black food do use the graveyard. Yeah, but like it's not the greatest exile effect against Phoenix, right? Because they're just going to get back their Phoenixes in a single turn. And not like toss one in the yard early and let you exile it. And like toss another one later and let you exile it. So you might hit one Phoenix. Challenger's gone. And I think we're just playing out the Preacher. Trying to do our best to curve out a little bit. Did that come out pretty southern? Just trying. Happening. My lifelong southern takeover is finally happening. Yeah. Get a yee-yee for that. My honorary yee-yee. I get a full view of this. Share preview. Oh, Sellsword. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any other target, then sacrifice it. So you can respond to this with a removal spell. Flick shot, show off. Felonious Rage is gone. I think that I want to just sit on Malcolm, go for the throat, so that next turn I can attack with Malcolm and get a Shieldred trigger. But I will offer up the trade with Malcolm and Slick Shot. So if they do choose to like use a spell on the Malcolm or on the Slick Shot to pump it, I can go for the throat and get another spell out of hand. Or they're just going to let me kill the show off. There's a Heartfire Hero, Hero, Scamp, and they've got a Callous Sellsword. Show me the Wrath. Or no, I don't have the Wrath in. All right. Here's a Shieldred. Go. Please let my Shieldred live for a turn. One counter on it. Deals damage to each opponent. Damage equal to its power to any target. I'm dead. Probably. Probably. Would you like to proliferate? No. Interesting. I don't feel dead. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to be dead, but I'm not dead. Nah, you dead. I can't argue with that. You see, you see, Doctor, I'm supposed to be dead. I don't have a good reason why I'm not, but the way of the world. Still dead? Still dead? Okay. Nice little 4-1 there with blue-black. Only loss was that round 1 to Lizards. But otherwise, we beat red-white mice, red-black prowess, Jeskai Convoke, and blue-white steel seraph artifact stuff things. I still don't know. I'm sure I'm missing something with that deck, but I'm sure Bunnycorn is not the end-all be-all payoff. But either way, really solid league going into tomorrow. I'm excited. I think our post-board game against the aggro matchups, maybe Lizards, maybe not, I don't know. But a lot of these prowess matchups, I think is pretty good. Getting to board up to like the 4 cut down, 4 go for the throat, Liliana, Preachers, the Anoint with Afflictions, like a lot of really good removal spells for the aggro matchups. And then the control decks getting to play this flash game plan with Fairies and Malcolm, Plume Creed Escort, Tashana's. Like, I think it's a solid deck. And I'm hoping that the open deck list will be helping out a pretty good bit. Unfortunately, the real flash threat, these Bowmasters, we don't get to play. But the rest of the deck, really solid. I'm happy with it. We'll see how it plays out. I have missed some matches against a lot of the standard powerhouses. Like, I've only played against Domain twice. Did win. But I haven't played against that deck a lot. Played against green-black twice. 1-1 against those. But just played a ton of the aggro decks. Ton of Convoke decks. Ton of prowess. We'll see how it goes tomorrow.